Cause some of them tryna ball, but they can't ball like this. Real brave, to go through the fiery lake. Snakes in the water, man, it's all great. Snakes in the water, man, it's all great. Hey, I been that nigga not having shit. I been that nigga since day one in the struggle, bitch. Didn't get the chip share till I got the flip in. 4 bullet points, then I got the zip in. These clown niggas tryna hurry, knock me on my pivot. Invest into a new house, now that's some fucking real shit. Free the thugs, yeah, out that celly, I'm just tryna get rich, nigga. Hey, I'm just tryna get rich. And you know, nigga, I keep that blick on me. If a nigga got a problem, don't speak.
Yo, what's good? What's up? Your boy back at it again. About to hit the road, about to take out the Mistah, you feel me? She out and get ready to get moving. So today's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna touch in with my boy Fab. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the behind the scenes of a different part of me that I'm gonna go tap in. We in Antioch, California today. We gonna go ahead and tap in and do a thug therapy session with Fab in Antioch at the water park. So we gonna go ahead and do that. Want to let everybody know and promote this because mental health is a big thing, and you being mentally stable and going through things, you're not the only one going through it. So I wanted to go ahead and put this video up. It is a little bit different than normal, but it is something that I'm really impacted with, and not really impacted with, but go ahead and go into the community and help people deal with and help people know that they're not the only one that goes through this type of stuff. So yeah, we about to jump on the bike. We about to show up. We about to turn up. Hopefully a whole bunch of people show up so we can go ahead and let y'all know y'all ain't alone. I'm gonna start promoting Fab's Thug Pit Therapy in Oakland a lot more. I'm actually gonna start a Thug Therapy in Antioch as well. So I want everybody to come out and chill with us, be able to talk over your problems, have people that can relate to what you're going through, and it's not just you by yourself. So tap in with your boy. I'm gonna put Fab and everybody else's contacts in the description, put my contacts down there as well. But yeah, like I said, come out, come support, come eat, you feel me, and enjoy this video.
Community outreach, and for those of you that are in the faith, you know that Holy Spirit, okay? So we did the work that we could do then, but when Black Lives Matter came and the whole social consciousness of the country changed, we thought we needed a name that was more recognizable. And so we switched in 2020 and renamed ourselves as Village Keepers. Same organization, same people, same work. And we now are able to really get deep into looking at mental health, looking at the health disparities within the Black and brown community. And so we just hit the ground running trying to do that. We were fortunate enough to get funding from John Muir Foundation. And today we got that funding back in October of last year. Today we've seen over 500 people. Yes. Just every week taking the blood pressures, temperatures, blood sugars, because we feel that that's prevention. And if people know what their numbers are and they know ahead of time, they can get to the doctors when they need to and not stay at home and wait too long. It also breaks down the stigma of not trusting the system, because we're the ones who are doing it. It's people who look like us. And we serve everybody. And we've been blessed, like I said, to serve over 500 people now. And when I met Sister Gigi, we were like minds in terms of knowing that we want to help the community, and it requires action versus talk. And so that's the side I like to be on in terms of developing a model so that people can see it's possible, and what we hope is that they will imitate it, which means that the work and its benefits spread abroad to more than just one community.
Thank you. County, 8 years ago, got funding from their board of supervisors to do the African American Holistic Wellness Hub, and they had a feasibility study and all that. So, do we need to study the problem, or do we already know what it is? Right. Most of the issues are because of structural racism, right? So when we hear superintendents of schools saying the system isn't broken, it's doing exactly what it was designed to do, we need to listen to that. So many of the challenges that African Americans and Latinx community members face are because there's a fear of the genius that we carry within us. And so they want to do it for us versus giving us the resources to do it ourselves. And so this drumming and all the things that are seen for us as a healing form, right? Last year we brought in Fred Hammond, and we had a big concert in Center of Hope, and we called it Healing Through Music. And it did just that. So we keep trying to go outside of the box that we've been asked to go in and do things in a way that really speaks our spirit. So we lifted up the 40 Voices campaign in June of 22 after a young man, Tyrell Wilson, was killed. So the 40 Voices campaign started the conversation with the county around funding, and then we advanced the efforts. I walked into a church in January of 2023, and that was the church of Pastor David Owens, and I heard him preaching about a horrific incident that had just happened with Tyrell Nichols. And I was like, oh, this church I should be at. They talk about black issues here. And so I want to introduce Dr. David Owens. I can't do it. Does some trauma healing for him to share. We kind of partnered together, and then we have the voice of the faith community from East County, because right here in this city, we made history. You want to know what the history was? Yeah.
Come on now, come on.
That's not a great history. I'm going to talk about the good stuff, but first we got to talk about the fact we made history when racial law enforcement officers made the mistake of letting their text messages on their private phones leak out. Right, Franklin? Right. Here's a victim over here. Here's a victim. He's a survivor of what was meant to kill him, but God had another plan. Right? He's also the uncle. Talking about your cousin,
Timothy Charles Lee.
Timothy Charles Lee, who was actually lynched in Concord. Okay, so Contra Costa County has a lot of blood on its hands. I will share with you guys today that even trying to get the flyers out for this was a challenge. I had to mention a couple of lawyers' names because the departments didn't want us to advertise this. That's what happens when you're trying to do stuff that heals in a way that matters. So if Pastor Owens can come up and talk about the work he's doing with trauma and healing, and the connection that Genesis had was showing up. I think when his wife, Pastor Chantel Owens, got up and prayed at a Black History acknowledgement. Now, not the first time anybody prayed in it. It just didn't come so many. Okay? So all the prayers have led to us getting $7.5 million on Tuesday for an African-American holistic wellness service. So our hope is that events like this that truly heal will be all across the county, and we'll be keeping you busy, Mr. Fab, okay? Because the work you do is the most essential work, right? Getting people who generally don't talk about their struggles to come and talk in a safe, trusted environment. Some people were wondering how come our flyer said 16 and over strictly enforced. Because you feel comfortable with your kid coming and hearing it doesn't mean they should. We want a safe place for people to talk. And so we did turn away some individuals, but I told them to come back for lunch, never to join barbecue again. But I brought them, they come back for lunch, but that's important to us. And sometimes you have restricted what you will say because a young person is in the room too. So that's another, we gotta understand some of our conversation with young people need to stop. If we're not telling them they're a winner, if we're not empowering them, then we're doing harm to them. So, Pastor, I want you to say something about the work you're doing and the collaborative effort around the getting the hub.
I want to make sure that I stay on mission. My wife tells me instead of going directly across the street, I go around the corner and down the block. But I'm glad to be a part of the undercard, if you will. We're here because of the
Grab that mic so we can get it on the table. You can pull it out while we're. You want me to walk with the mic out? Yeah. Thank you, I appreciate it.
That was amazing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a piece of your daughter.
Sometimes we hold on to things. My grandmother was a hoarder. I go to my grandmother's house, and I'll remember this. Some of the only memories that I have of me and my dad, certain things like that. I'm at my grandmother's house. I'm in her bed. Now, mind you, her bed looked like a Goodwill stock room. It's books, it's clothes, it's everything. Everything is in this woman's room. It's, Granny, can you find me a Jet magazine from '69? It's right here. You know, everything is. Everything I'm talking about, everything piled up, stacked up in the room. I'm on her bed. I'm asleep. I wake up to my father, my grandmother, everybody panicking. I wake up, I go into the kitchen, I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? He's like, where were you at? My daddy about to whoop me and everything. About to whoop me with the same belt they tie around his arm to get high with. I'm like, what y'all, what do you mean, where was I at? Like, where was you at? I was on the bed. He said, what? I was asleep on the bed. And sometimes, as I get older, and this is the first time I've ever shared this story, and I don't know what, I know what made me share the story is what you did. But when we hold on to certain things, we can't find what we're looking for. And no matter how dear it is, sometimes we gotta let it go. Because that starts the trajectory on the mission that we begin to jump. Everything that I wrote about was trying to figure out. My father died from AIDS in '94. In '94, we were all ignorant to what AIDS actually was and the impact of it. We thought that it was what they had described it as being. You know, we knew that from a certain community, this thing had stopped. And most of the men that were having it. So here it is, a young boy, and you dealing with the bullying back then, like, oh, your daddy was, I don't want to offend anyone, and I don't know how to properly say what I'm getting at, but hopefully we can read between the lines at this time for those. And so I'm battling these things of trying to figure out what's going on with my father, and so I began writing. Now I don't have one. Everything that I wrote about was trying to figure out. My father died from AIDS in '94. In '94, we were all ignorant to what AIDS actually was and the impact of it. We thought that it was what they had described it as being. You know, we knew that from a certain community, this thing had stopped. And most of the men that were having it. So here it is, a young boy, and you dealing with the bullying back then, like, oh, your daddy was, I don't want to offend anyone, and I don't know how to properly say what I'm getting at, but hopefully we can read between the lines at this time for those. And so I'm battling these things of trying to figure out what's going on with my father, and so I began writing. Now I don't have one picture playing catch. I never looked to the stands and saw my father at my games. But what stays with me is you gave me my purpose. And my purpose was I want you to not only write about what you're going through, but be the writer and the author of what we all are going through. As you said, you've held up freeways, you've held up highways, but even sometimes when we hold those other things up, we feel like we let ourselves down. Because we take the blame of a lot of stuff. There's no mistakes that God makes. There's no mistakes. My mother's dead. My father's dead. My brother's dead. My older brother's been in jail 30 years. And I wouldn't change any of it for nothing in the world. For I had to, if my mother was me and my mother grew up together. My mother was my best friend. See, that may sound crazy to some people, but if y'all understand what I'm saying, when your mother had you young, y'all grow up together. Y'all similar. Y'all speak the same language. Y'all listen to the same music. Y'all grow up together. So in a weird kind of way, it's kind of like it's my Mistah, my mama's sister. Kind of like my sister, my homegirl. We grew up together. So when I say that I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world, that's me saying no matter what I'm doing in life, I miss my mama like crazy. Everything that I do, every accomplishment that I reach, every milestone that I get to, every medicine filling, and I miss my mother. I miss my mother more than I enjoy some of my accomplishments. But I wouldn't change it. Because I didn't become a man until my mother died. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm just directing this to you. I just was touched by what you said. I didn't become a man until my mother died. Because I always had a crutch and I always had a cushion. Some of us have crutches and cushions in our lives. What I mean by that is when you hurt, you got a crutch you can lean on. I know that crutch is there. When I fall, I know that I had a cushion that it could catch my fall. You see, when my mother had passed, that had been removed. So now that if I fall, I'm hitting the ground. Now if I'm hurt, I got to muster up some type of energy so I can move through. And it made me say, where is my strength? As we all know, we don't know how strong we are until strength is the only thing that you have to rely on to push you through. It's funny that Pastor Horatio had spoken on something that I planned and intended on addressing today. It's called parents' love. I think the elder here told me something. You were at Merit, right? And you told me something that I've been telling you ever since. You can pretend to care, but you can't pretend to show it. Some of us are byproducts to emotionally immature parents. Some of our parents weren't emotionally available to us. Some of our parents never went beyond just what they were supposed to do. And their excuse was, I put clothes on your back, I give you a shelter, I put food in your mouth, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Okay, no. Sound good. But you're not emotionally available to me. And what I mean by that is, every year I bought my daughter a bike. So she was up to about 9 years old, 10 years old. I bought my daughter a brand new bike every year for Christmas. Brand new bike. On her 10th year of life, she said, another bike, Dad? Must be nice, another bike. I said, the kid thing. I said, I had one bike my whole childhood. Right. And I had to, how hard it was having a bike in the ghetto? Let me ride your bike. My mama said you can't ride my bike. Mama said you can't ride my bike, so I had on my legs and all kinds of stuff. A bike was vicious back then. It started a whole hood war about a bike. Especially a Huffy or something, if you was clean. Ooh. Gonna be a war behind this bike. You got no, and my mama said I can't let her go. I don't care. she's a beautiful child. I love this kid, right? Challenges me, tests me, pisses me off to the highest level of this thing. But challenging. And that has helped me grow. I said, you don't like your bike? She said, Dad, I love my bike. I love all my bikes. She said, but every year you buy me a bike, Dad, but you know the funny thing? I said, what? She said, Dad, you never taught me how to ride a bike. She said, Dad, I enjoy the presence, but I would much rather have your presence.
Come on. Yes, sir. Right.
This was out of her mouth. I enjoy the presence, but I would much rather have your presence. So from a 10-year-old, I'm like, what your mama tells you that? Then I have to realize this is my child. So she gonna say something, you know your children is your karma. This is my child, so I'm in. And I thought about it. I've never taken the time to teach my daughter how to ride a bike because we learned how to ride bikes stealing bikes. I'm just being honest. The first thing ghost ride, we start calling ghost riding cars when we get out the car, right? But the real first ghost ride was when you got that bike. You started that bike and you were riding. One dude got a whole other bike riding another bike. You're pushing it off and you get your bones low. I say this to say, a parent's love. To this day, is somebody in here that has been fighting for their parents' love. There is somebody in here still feeling like they aren't decorated enough for their parents. Oh, you're not Christian enough. You ain't holy enough. You didn't get married at a certain time. You had a baby out of wedlock. Oh, you didn't get a degree. I wanted you to be this. Some of us in here pretended to be a person our whole life because we wanted to please our parents. And our parents never truly accepted us for who we were. Some of us in here, parents don't even know us. I know gangsters and killers who mama think they angels. Crazy example, I'm at Too Short House one day, we're in Atlanta. This is a real story in life, I swear. We at the house, we playing the music. I think, we watching the game, I'm like, hey nigga, come to me, like, what up? Yeah, I'm too short to the Short, you telling me not to say a cuss word? Your mom ain't never heard your music. You know how much trouble I done got to listening to you? Tired of her mom. Oh, this is crazy. I respect it, because I respect the person that respects their parents. Don't get now. I'm not saying be disrespectful. I'm not saying that. What I'm telling you is some of us don't have those relationships where our parents actually know us. So we've done everything in our life to try to get our parents to love us. I told my friend one day, man, I love you, man. I'll call you later. You love me. What that mean, though? I love you, man. Just tell me I love you, man. Ain't nobody ever told me they love me. My stepbrother. Damn, I'm going down a hole today. So if I start crying, don't worry about it. I'm diving into something. You took me to a place. My stepbrother, my mom remarried. Well, she never married my daddy. I don't know why I lied like that. My mama got married after my dad died. I was about 12, 13 years old. married this dude, and my first thing was, "But you ain't my daddy. I don't want to listen to nothing you talking about. I don't care about nothing you talking about. Who is you? What's going on? How long y'all been knowing each other? This is crazy." Like, but he came with baggage. Just like she came with baggage, he came with baggage. He came with a son and a daughter. So now we live in this fake full house Tanner's life version. My stepbrother. Mom's been on drugs her whole life. Dad has always never been available to him. Now, Pop's got custody of him. So he's moving into us with us, and he's like, just hella mean to me. So I'm young, I'm like, I know I can't beat him up, but I could pick up some stuff. It been some phones through some heads, it was we all like cats and dogs, he and my stepbrother. A month ago, he finally had a conversation with me that explained everything. It's a month ago. He going through it with his wife. He called me. PD, where you at? PD, that's my family name. Where you at? You at the shop? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He like, I'm across the street at Miranda. Come over here. I'm like, what's going on with you? He like, bro, just come through. I get over there, we talk, and he's literally drunk, but he's in his feelings and he's emotional, and I'm talking to him, giving him a hug. He like, I love you. Boom. First time he said this. What's wrong with you? He never told me he loved me. You all right? He like, bro, I just want to have a conversation with you. Okay. My daddy never loved me. My daddy married your mama. Now all of a sudden he's a loving person. All of a sudden he's taking you out to go get dressed. He's taking you, teaching you how to drive. He's been a father. He's going to your games. Y'all going to go for a catch. Y'all been throwing football with each other. Y'all doing everything. My daddy never did none of that with me. He said, my whole life, man, this dude ain't never loved me, never hugged me, never did nothing like that. I just looked like him. Was never available to me. He said, my dude, I hate you for that. He said, not only did I hate you for that, I hated you because your mama loved you. He said, your mama loved you, which made me double hate you because my mama never loved me. Then he said, you know what's even crazier? He said, your mama loved me more than I loved me. Ooh. And I ran away from it. No woman that's ever loved me in my life. Your mama loved me, and I didn't know why she loved me. So I fought against her. Like, woman, you ain't my mama. And no matter what I did to that woman, she loved me. And she told me, baby, you can fight it all you want. That's not going to make me stop loving you. You can be mean, you can lie, you can run away, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm still going to love you because I'm going to love you because I know you need to be loved. So as I'm helping him to his car, put him in the car, his homeboy there, I take him. He like, where my keys? I'm like, I got it. He like, no, I'm finna drive home. No, you're not. I got it. He like, come on, but I'm good. Like, boom, I do this all the time. I say, that's the sad part. The sad part is that we've gotten comfortable in these toxic states. See, we've normalized abnormal activity. We've normalized it being okay for us to not be okay. We've normalized, how you doing? I'm good. Are you really good? Man, don't nobody want to hear about it anyway. I ain't complaining. Don't nobody care. It's funny that you'll find out that people actually do care. Some people care so much that they're willing to put everything that they have on to the side to make sure that you're all right because they know that they'll be all right. I don't have a problem giving somebody some money because I know how to go make some money. But as men and women, we don't have safe zones. We don't have safe zones to be okay. My mother said, I'm never going to allow you to go out and make some of the same mistakes that I made, and I'm willing to die about that. Still remember it like it's yesterday. I'm 15 years old. I'm on 45th. I'm on the corner. We chilling. Me, Freddie, Pete, a couple other folks. She pull up. She jump out the car. She got her pistol in her hand. Mom was against it. Her pistol in her hand. She said, I told you, niggas. Pardon my language. I apologize. She said, I told you, niggas. I'll kill one of y'all if y'all sell dope to my son. And y'all let my son sell dope out here. I will kill one of y'all. I'm serious about that. She get in the car. Get off in the car. In the car, boom, boom, get you off this corner, boom, boom, boom. She dumped out on Freddie. Now, mind you, Freddie was like, in our neighborhood, Freddie was like Nino Brown. Like, you feel me? Like, it was a gangster. Like, you feel me? Like, at least we thought he was. I didn't, after that day, I had to question this gangster. Like, they want to talk to you like that? She walked up on him and said, I'm willing to die about my son. I don't know how y'all mamas feel about y'all, but I'm willing to die about my son and kill. My son ain't gonna be out here like that. And if this your block, this your neighborhood, I'm putting it on you. Man, do you know this dude acted like he was my parole officer? My whole life. Even to this day, he resides in one of the tent encampments and everything, but I still have the utmost respect for him because till this day, he's like, hey, bro, you got gone. To the basketball court or something. Go down there, do something. It ain't cool. What you mean? I'm from here, man. We know. It ain't cool, man. And even in his situation today, people wonder why I got the love that I got for him because all of my friends was getting indoctrinated to the corner. The older heads was giving them money. Son, bro, I'm gonna go get you some money. Get your money on. They gave them. Oh, here you go. Take this shit, man. Just bring me back. That was the game back then. Hello, homie. Get this. Spend $100 with me. I'm gonna make $400. And that was they hustling day it started. I go to him like, oh man, Freddie, I'm doing bad, bro. Let me give you this $200. Better go home. What you doing? You ain't finna grind over here. He protected me because he knew that I came from a place of love. Some people is neglected because they came from different kind of places. It's some parents out there that something happened to them when they was young that they made sure on their parents.
What is the spiders on your arm?
Right there. What was it? Thank you. Take it. It's some parents that feel like they have to do a certain level of thing, like I got to protect my child, and sometimes they handicap their children. They handicap their children for some things that happen to them. Emotionally immature. Emotionally unavailable. We fight our whole lives trying to get that parent love. Man, I just want my mom to tell me she loved me. So then, you grow up your whole life, depending on your life. Some of my folks start pimping because their mamas didn't love them. Their mamas put a dude with them. Their mamas dropped them off at their grandmama's house. They didn't respect their mamas. And every woman that they looked at, they like, I'm gonna get payback on this. How you did me? I'm gonna do every woman like you. You left me alone. I don't mean nothing to you. And they became misogynistic. Like, why you so hateful, bro? Like, what, you don't like women? Nah, bro. You feel me? Women ain't cool, bro. My mama dropped me off at my grandma's house, bro. Told me she was gonna come see. She ain't been back since, bro. Now when I got money, all she wanna do is she think I'm gonna check or something, bro. I don't respect my mama, bro. You like, oh, bro, you hurt her, huh? But it's okay to be hurt. Because hurt is the first step of healing. Once we admit hurt, now we can heal. Now we can say, so the cold thing is that inner child that's inside of us is called, I call it your roommate. We got a roommate. All of us got a roommate in here. That's that subconscious. You got that roommate that live inside of you. That roommate's like, bro, don't go over there, bro. Nah, it ain't cool over there. But like, ooh, bro, I think you should do that. That's that roommate. Your subconscious. But sometimes that roommate is the kid that got told to go to his room and he stayed in his room. And sometimes it's people hiding in that room and your parents don't know what they're doing. The parents don't know what they're doing. So you got to make sure that your kids and your inner kid is protected. As he said, you got to check on your homeboy that got all the money. Your homegirl that got every bag. You know she need every bag because she carrying a lot of money.
Yeah, say that.
See, it's more than cosmetics that she carrying. So she got every bag because it's stuff that she got to carry with. She got to carry with, I'm still trying to protect my uncle because I don't want to tell what he did to me, because if I do that, it's going to tell the whole family this young. See, it's a woman walking with her uncle's secrets right now, so she don't want to get into the family, the whole thing, because now she know how her family is. They going to make her seem like she the bad one. Why do you say that about Uncle Willie? You know he did that to all of us. Why? That was tradition. You just gonna put the whole family business out there like that? Well, if we put the family business out there, it's gonna prevent my next nieces and cousins from going through what I had to go through. Yeah. It's the men that had went through some things, turned them into killers. Turned them into, it was like, bro, what happened to you? Man, bro, you feel like talking about that. We've been affected. You see, you got affected, then you got infected. Some of us been infected. Some of us been so infected that it's hard to correct it. When your projections are met with projections, when you think of something so much, when you hold somebody in such high regards, and now you say, oh, that's how you did me? That's how you did me? That's what. Some of us right now fighting a war it's a powerful war, but it's a silent war. We fight it on ourselves right now. It's eating us up every day. We try to drink it away. We try to smoke it away. We sexualize it away. But it's a battle that we fight. It's an inner battle that when something happened to us. Something happened to that roommate of yours, and you told him go to his room, shut up. You better not ever tell nobody this. Take this to your grave. Take this to your grave. Don't say nothing about this. And that's been eating you up. That's been eating you up. Then you have children, and now you got the parent with that on your mind. Now your kids messed up. Toxic. You done pass it on to your children. You know when the bones can hold 14 generations of trauma? When we talk about analytics and we get to talking about real statistics, it is stated that our bones and our trauma, we can hold 14 generations of trauma. That means you might be going through something your great ancestors never dealt with. It is time to deal with what you're going through right now. And we're not worried about how embarrassing it may feel. We're not worried about none of that. We're not worried about any of that. We got to deal with it. At the last therapy, I talked about me not going to my grandfather's funeral. Only kid in the family that didn't go. All my cousins and everything. I said, I'm not going to the funeral. And now I wish I could have went because I just wanted to pay respect and not let down, what my grandfather was the matriarch of the family, did a lot of things, but it was a lot of stuff that I didn't agree with. My grandfather was very abusive. I'm talking about like handcuff you to the rail and whoop you in front of all the family just to prove a point. Like, this man is crazy. Like my cousin used to get, my grandfather used to beat this dude so bad, it drove my cousin crazy, man. At 17 years old when he was able to leave, at 19 years old he caught a body. He's been in jail ever since. When he calls me, it reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of my childhood, him not being able to go outside, and so him having to do certain stuff, and it just turned him into a monster. But my grandfather was the result of that. My mama left at 13. She said, that man ain't about to hit me no more. On her own at 13. Crack cocaine addictions, heroin addictions, prostitution, all kind of stuff. I blame my grandfather for that. See, I had to let it go. I had to let it go because God got a plan for everybody. And who am I to intervene? Who am I to intervene to what's supposed to happen? Sometimes you got to go through something so you can become the version of you that you need to be. You see, if Malcolm went through what he went through, if Malcolm would have died at 19, we would have known him as Detroit Red. He would have never became Malcolm X. If Maya Angelou would have died at 20, we would have known her as a prostitute and a stripper. Sometimes we got to go through what we need to go through so we can become who we need to become. You see, if Paul wouldn't have went through what he went through, he wouldn't have been become Saul.
Come on now, come on.
And Saul gave him his lived experience. So when they went to visit these villages, he was like, oh, that's a gangster. He was a killer. You was Jesus. Jesus got some killers with him. See, because he didn't believe what was going on. He like, man, he ain't doing all that. Blood ain't turning water into wine. He ain't doing all that. Y'all heard about it. You ain't believe it. Then he saw it. He saw it and convinced him to change his whole life. Man, I'm with you. See, sometimes some people got to see it to believe it. But they got to go through what they got to go through. You had to go through that so you can become an advocate for some other people. You had to have that lived experience. I tell people, I'm not certified, no verifications. I may not be a clinician. I may not have none of the therapeutic work or the certificates and degrees that all of these people got, but I got lived experience. We talk trauma, I've been through it. We talk growing up in drug houses. We talk about parents on dope. We talk about being exposed. We talk about at 5 years old able to recognize crack smoke, cigarette smoke, weed smoke, and all these other kinds of smokes. Yeah, we talk about that. Man, y'all smoking that? Well, what kind of weed is that? You 6 years old talking about that's like hammer. What weed is that? Auntie, why you smoking them funny cigarettes? Why your cigarettes smell like that? Being mad at your grandmama's house because now you don't have no clean spoons. You see, I don't know about y'all, but I ate cereal with spoons that had lighter marks. See, that might go over some people's head. My daddy was a heroin addict who shot up, who in my grandmother's kitchen burned heroin on lighters. So all of her, they burned on spoons. So all of my grandmother's spoons in the kitchen had lighter marks. And that's what I ate cereal with. So when we talk about lived experience, I bet your therapist ain't go through that. Right. With them fancy degrees. Right. Have you ate sleep for dinner? Wake up and play mind games like you ain't hungry? Last night. Drink? The hell, what? Can't have company because you got roaches.
Come on now, tell the truth.
And there's no up in my house. It's really not the house there. Couldn't even have a company because of them roaches. See, this is what I'm going through. Now, I'm not bragging about it, but we talking lived experience, right? I relate to you because we got accountability of some of the things we went through the same stuff. Right. If we being honest. Right. If we being honest. Right. The cold thing is we've been lying to ourselves so much that we've hid the truth.
Come on now.
How many times you tell yourself you're all right? I'm all right. I know you can't be all right. You don't went through too much. Healing is a process and it starts the moment that you begin to be honest with yourself. The moment that you begin to tap into what's going on in your mind state and you say, I got to work on something. Uncle be mad at me all the time. He say, man, why you wait till I get here to get ready? I say, because my daddy told me he was on his way and he never came. So I sit on these stairs all day waiting on him to come. Until I get called a bunch of fools from my mama telling me to come inside. He had any trust issues. I don't realize it until you just said something about it. Some of us got issues, we don't realize it until somebody bring it to, why you act like that? Why you do that? Defense mechanisms. Some people stutter because their mamas always say, shut up. Shut up. And they just start talking like that. We got a lot of stuff going on. But ain't nothing wrong with it. Moses stuttered. Noah was alcoholic. You know that one. Paul was a gangster. God will take the people that offend me, condemned as the worst people in the world, and make them the best versions of somebody that you should seek after a message with. Some of the people of our history's time have been some of the people in life that have had the worst of the worst. But they made others become the best of themselves. They'll take the people who have been affected the most and help them prevent other people from being infected. We create an aegis type feeling around so men and women can get back to being convivial, which is a happiness, a joy. Having the temerity to say, I am happy that I've gone through what I've gone through. I am proud of my pain. I'm proud of everything that I've gone through because it's let me know that I can subdue. I can sustain some things. When I show up as me. I don't show up as my representative. I don't show up as somebody else. I don't have to show up in costume or in character. I'm showing up as me. I'm wearing my scars. I'm wearing my flaws. I'm wearing who I am. So when you see me, you see somebody that's been in war, been at war, going through war, fighting in war. So when you see that you're going to war, you're going to go with somebody that's been in war and it was consolidated in battle. You don't want to stand on that battlefield with somebody that hasn't been battle tested. If you see me riding with somebody, you got to believe that I know that they're going to go to war with me. Because it's a war. It's a spiritual war. It's a mental war. It's a physical war. It's an internal war. It's an external war. And if I'm riding with somebody, I got to know that they're going to get hammered.
Right.
I fight it off by myself. We do these meetings every other Wednesday called Thug Therapy. Thug stands for teaching, healing, uniting, and guiding. We open the floor up to brothers from all walks of life, straight, gay, black, white, all walks of life. I don't care what you represent, Muslim, Baptist, Buddhist, agnostic, atheist, whatever you represent. And we come out and we lay it all on the floor. We talk about the things that we've gone through. We talk about what we're going through. We have brothers that's healed. We have brothers that's hurt. I plan to do once a month a co-ed with all so we can learn how to love each other. So we can begin to learn some of the languages of our villages as we begin to talk and we begin to wondering how can we build, how can we rebuild, how can we forgive our parents, how can we understand and build those relationships with our children, how can we get back to protecting our women, how can we become providers, listeners, students, teachers, educators, more so and more so. I am thankful to be here, to have you guys here, to be able to share some of the things that we're sharing, but to do the work that a lot of people are afraid to do because it puts a target on your back. It puts a target on your back. See, God will hide you so certain people can't find you. Sometimes we're hidden in prisons. Sometimes we're hidden in hospitals. We're hidden in solitude. We're hidden in villages. For real, sometimes we have to go to the middle of the village to talk to the wise ones, the oracles, the elders. But God will hide you because He knows your importance. And once you find your level of importance, wants you to do something for them. Everybody, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. I can't be in a million places at one time. So the places that I do occupy, I hope that in full capacity that the message is received and we begin to spread that message. And for those that may not have been there physically, they get a chance to hear the echoes of what we talked about.
Yeah.
And I want to thank the organization, Dr. Frazier, and many people that have done this work for several years, Pastor Rachel, and many of the spiritual leaders, faith-based institutions, and to the people that are everyday common folk that hold very, and just as well, equivalence importance. As we heal together, we build together. My name is Stanley Cox. I appreciate you guys.
As I shared earlier, we're going to have a breakout for women. But it's really important for us women, sometimes in a world, Black women in particular, where we're not to revolutionize the way we talk about childhood trauma and its impact on our mental health. Thank you so much.
Well, this is exciting. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Lamar Hernandez Goro. And, you know, it's funny, something that told me, that a pastor had commented to them that they thought it was a mistake that my last name is Hernandez. I recently changed it. And that they were, as a Black person, offended that I added Hernandez to my name. Because in reality, I was only raised by Mexicans. Mexicans are not my parents. I would suggest to that pastor that he read one of the 10 commandments that command you to honor your mother and father. And that's why I share that. Because I was born in Turkey, raised in foster care by a family that immigrated to this country from Mexico. Graduated high school, I couldn't read and write. So I enlisted in the United States Navy as what they call a deck seaman. So I used to chip paint and chip press. And eventually I taught myself to read and write. To make long story short, I graduated from George Washington University. And so, every day I show up and do my job. I'm so glad you talked about this. Every day I show up and do my job as the mayor because of what I've experienced. So people think that they can throw things at me, attack me, organize. Right now, people are organizing against me. Right now, at this very moment, organizing. But they fail to understand. The worst thing that could happen to me already happened. I was not raised by that Black woman. And there is nothing more hurtful, more painful in my life than that. So there's nothing you can do to me.
Come on now.
There's nothing you can do to me that will amount to an enormous amount of pain of not to have your Black mom raise you. And so I couldn't be more honored to present a certificate of recognition to Mr. Stanley Cox. Thank you for your participation in Thug Therapy on the 27th day of April 2024, hosted by NAMI Contra Costa, and for your bold courage to discuss your struggles with mental health. Mr. Fab is an entrepreneur and a 6-time Grammy Award-nominated rapper with 5 #1 albums. He is known for his deep roots in the community and commitment to service. In 2023, Mr. Fab created Teaching, Helping, Uniting, and Guiding to help Black men talk about and work through their struggles with mental health. On behalf of the City of Antioch's 120,000+ residents, we welcome you to our home. All of them. economic, social, and cultural value. Thank you so much. Well, I have a backpack that has a whole bunch of stuff with the city's logo. And all that stuff. And so, we want you to have that. We don't want you to get any you look way on that side. So you have that too. So now we can take a picture.
Oh, okay.